But not so pretty. So I'm rock kids, so I'm not so fit. Checking my breath, checking my breath, checking my breath. Follow my steps is the road to success with it. Look at when the girl says goes. But I can't teach my swag. I paid for school, but I can't buy class. I'm on the bread and that whole thing is my graduate cabin. Oh, different rollers with the soda. Oh, why? Probably no mas. This need no mas. Got several. Don't call ghetto. That's why. So the devil might today will make you feel special. Boys talk about. I know it's us, you know, the only thing we talk about.
Raina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, dear. Thank you. But before
I have you on here twice. Are you aware of that?
That I thought that I may have done that and I kind of logged me off before.
Yeah, you're good. You're good to one now. So can you hear me better now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what I'm doing is playing music in the background. I also acknowledge that Zoom is really great. So what it's doing is it's blocking background sounds. So it's coming in a little weird probably, but no worries. When I start talking, you know I'm talking. Okay, we're gonna give it about 5 more minutes and we're gonna start up. All right.
You're awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Looking from the nerves and it makes me like I got ready to be nervous. Feel nervous work is my verses, work first down black rap. Absolutely classical. Last thing I'm worried about is what another rapper do. Ain't nobody happy. And if they grab their ass off, glad talking, they got outstanding quality. Necessary, revolutionary, nothing less than legendary.
You want to take the key?
From a dad,
this way don't bother me too much. Take. Well. We're gonna start up in about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. I want to get everybody in the room that said they were coming, so I want to make sure everybody pull up. Just about 5 more minutes. We're gonna start. What is it gonna be? No. We starting up. We starting up. We starting up. It's 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Right on the top of the blender. The top of the blender on the floor. You like this song? All right, y'all, we're gonna get this started. We're gonna get this started as people are still either on their way over or whatever. I want to say hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My big face is all in the thing. How y'all feeling tonight? How is everybody feeling tonight? Hey, Kim. Y'all could come on the screen if you don't mind. I would love to see your faces. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
I'm like a again.
Let me show my face, and then I'm gonna hide it because you're gonna die of a heart attack.
Why am I die of a heart attack? Raina, what's wrong? Why would
like,
I die?
I look like the devil was behind me. running behind me, and I was running ahead, trying
First
not
of
to.
all, you look wonderful. Thank you very much for joining. Okay. First of all, this is how we do when we zoom in. We've been zooming for years and everything is Zoom. Listen, you lucky I put pants on. Shoot. I knew what I was coming in here to do today. Lucky I put pants on. I was in here running around like, what am I gonna wear? What am I gonna wear? And I was like, well, if I don't put pants on, they're not gonna really know. Right, Kim? Nobody gonna know.
Thanks to
I'm
Kim.
not standing up at no time. I'm not reaching over for anything. We're gonna just be as natural ourselves. But the reason why I asked for face is because if you might make a facial expression, I want to look and read it. Right? You might say, what's that? Like, all right, I see that. I want to know. Like, it's exciting. And as y'all see, I am recording this. So Kim knows everything about me. I should just have Kim do my intro at this point. Hold on. Kim, you can't hear me, but everybody else can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. All right. So Kim, I need you to figure out your settings. And I'll start and if you can't hear, wait, clearly she can't. Kim, please figure your settings. Every can hear. Also, so yeah, people gonna be mad that they missed this one because I'm about to pack y'all with some stuff. And the reason why they're gonna be mad is because nobody's gonna have access to this video. So Fire, last week I sent you the access, and those that had watched last week's live Zoom, I sent access to everybody so they could see it because it was a general basic welcome. But moving forward, anyone inside of my school community will be able to rewatch these webinars. So the free webinar is there, but then if you want to rewatch it and get that information, it's going to be inside of the Zoom, inside of the school account. Okay. What y'all going to get today? Oh man, it's the whole NYCHA bit. So a little bit about me, since y'all don't know about me, right? My name is Rema the Great. I am a nonprofit that currently lives in Wagner Houses. I'm trying to move this thing. Why is it? Okay. I currently live in Wagner Houses. I have been doing community work for the past few years. I want to say since 2020. There's a lot of my story that I will divulge over time, but for time's sake, I'll just leave it like this. In the last 4.5 years, I've worked for Department of Probation underneath a contract. I worked for Department of Corrections under a contract. I worked for Department of DYCD, Department of Youth and Community Development under a contract. I've worked for the DA office in the last year. I have worked for let me see. I've worked. Hi, Kim. Thank you for inviting me and joining. Yes, yes. I'm happy she invited you, Raina. So I've worked for the mayor's office of contracts. I've worked for the mayor's office of criminal justice, so MOCJ, all under contracts. So that's my resume pretty much, right? And living in NYCHA and having had that extensive background, I was like, well, I want to help my people. So I started a nonprofit last year in the middle of me working for the DA office. My nonprofit is called the Great Parents Club. We're dedicated to parental leadership and access to resources, right? Because I feel like there's a gap that nobody talks about, and it's our gap, right? Imagine being a parent that do not have a bad kid. And what I mean by that is there's several programs and programs out here that's all hyper focused on either the youth or the seniors. There's nothing really out here for us. Like I don't need a program around how to build a resume. I have one. I don't need a program around a healing circle. I need money. Is that okay? Can we all just thumbs up to that? We need money. I need a check. Right. So I start digging. Where's the money at? I need a check. Like you could talk to me about anything else. The way I'm going to better my house and better my kids and better my situation is if you introduce me to where the money is at. The problem is that people aren't able to do that. So what happens is people think that it's a gatekeeping thing. Now I'm just going to talk for about 10 minutes if that's okay with y'all. And everybody thinks it's a gatekeeper thing because you know this information and you're not sharing it. So I'll give you an example of how it's not. If nobody ever asks you how to make rice, if no one never asks you how to make rice, you'll never tell them your rice recipe. Am I right or wrong? Right? Am I right or wrong? So The fact of that, and this is why I asked y'all to keep your camera on, because I can see Raina say, yup, right? So the fact of that, somebody needs to know to ask you that is the issue too. You see, if I don't know to ask you, I'm not asking you anything. Therefore, you can't give me information. But when you find out I know how to make rice, and you go, baby, I've been trying to make rice all my life, and you knew this whole time, and you didn't tell me, what happens, right? You think the person is gatekeeping. The issue is that you never asked me. I'm not going to tell you something I don't know that to offer you. So in our community, we don't have a lot of people sharing information around these things, especially the NYCHA piece. So how many of you, and you're going to put this in the chat, a thumbs up, or maybe emoji will work for me right now, since I don't see everybody on the camera, and that might help. But you could either do a 1 in the chat or a thumbs up. I think emoji thumbs up is good. That's what we're going to stay with. Put a thumbs up if you've ever heard that there's money in NYCHA. Put a thumbs up if you've ever heard that there's money in NYCHA. Right. So there's not just a couple of dollars. There's billions of dollars in NYCHA. Now, the problem is that a lot of people don't know how to actively get this money from NYCHA, right? Where's the money at? Are you in position to get these contracts, et cetera, et cetera? So I figured this out back in last year around this time, right before I left my job. And I was like, there's money out there. They should be giving me money. That's it. Somebody should be paying me. So I investigated it, and I know a lot of NYCHA presidents and such like that. I'm a big NYCHA enthusiast. I actually am consulting 3 different NYCHA developments. I have my own for-profit as well, called Harvell Consulting. And with that being said, okay, Kim jumped out. She's back in. So with that being said, Kim, I have you twice. Kim, you're here twice. Do you know that? I'm scared because I had a scare last week with all right, so Kim is good. With a bot. A bot came in here, started scribbling over everything, started talking all kind of crazy in the chat. It was at the very beginning. And then poor Fire got kicked out and blocked by accident on purpose. It was just what God wanted, I guess. I don't know. It was a lot happening last week. So I have my eye on the list so we can stay clear. Anyway, a lot of people don't know that there's money in NYCHA and how the money works and how it's spent. What are the things that you need to do in order to get this money, right? And who are they giving it to? So I want to break some stuff down. At any point you have a question, ask the question, okay? When I went to seek out the money, I wrote a proposal and I gave it to all my friends. Everybody I knew that was a president, or everybody I knew that was on a president board, I gave it to them. I didn't know how much money they had, nor did I care. The whole point of what I was doing was trying to A/B test the system. Let me try something instead of doing nothing, right? So I proposed a $10,000 program for women, for mothers, and it's called Mama Moguls Academy, where we teach moms how to do presentations like this, where we'll also teach them how to write ebooks, how to do YouTube, and how to make money on on the level of being an influencer, right? And I'm pitching this, and I'm like $10,000 because I need to get paid. I said that, right? I'm gonna say that again. I need to get paid. And if you like me, you need to get paid, right? So I'm charging for the facilitation, and then I'm like, I want to give each mother a tripod, right, for her camera, for her phone. I want to give her a lavalier mic so she'd be able to do interviews, because doing interviews, you can gain like $20 an interview, maybe $100 up to $100 an interview, depending on how much of a celebrity you are online. I wanted to give them a year of Canva, because this way you could just kind of fix your workbooks and stuff like that through Canva. I wanted to give them CapCut so you could record on your phone and then go in CapCut and edit your stuff. You would have learned all this technical skill, because what happens when baby is hungry and welfare done closed down and you had to stop whatever you had to do? What happens when the check just came and it's ran out already? What happens when the bill come and there's no more money at the end of the bill? Right? We have to take care of stuff. Matter of fact, let me do this. As a mother, I make sure they have everything. What about my eyelashes? What about my haircut? I would like some bangle earring. I don't care if this costs $2. I'm cute. I need a new shirt. I need a new wrap for my hair. Matter of fact, can I just lay my edges down with some gel? That costs money, right? If I had put together how to make rice, and I'm gonna stay on this rice thing. I don't know who need to hear it on this call, who's gonna watch this later, but if I had to teach a class around making rice and I told everybody I knew, give me $5. If I sold that class to 5 people, do you understand me? I would have made $100. That $100 could have easily got me and my kids some Chinese food. Although it's not healthy, just pay attention to what I'm saying. It's just extra money in my pocket to do anything I want to do with it. If I wanted to take that money and save it so I could go on vacation, if I wanted to put that money towards getting my kids, all of us, a picture album, it doesn't matter what if I had a phone bill that was need to be paid and I couldn't pay the phone bill. Am I right or wrong? That money will go to that. So I'm like, listen, y'all need to get this program in the projects. Let's get these mothers what they need. And my friend said, girl, you're going to eat my whole budget. That's not how much we get. I said, well, what do you get? She said, well, we're a small development. We only get about $13,000 a year. If we give you a $10,000 program, we're only going to have $3,000 to do what we need to do with it. And we don't have the budget. So I said, So that means that I have to go to bigger developments with this beautiful idea, or that means I have to chop this idea down and try to figure it out where you can only sponsor about 2, because this was sponsoring 15 mothers. So now I'm in and out of all these different moments of who can take this program, how do I cut this program down smaller, how do I still deliver, and all this other stuff, right? But then as I dug deeper, I realized who had the money. For those that is in New York City, we're going to get into that. And I'm going to show you proof that I ain't lying. Baruch, everything Lower East Side has about maybe over $300,000 to spend right now on program, on training, on opportunities. And they have yet to do that because they don't know how to spend them. Now, with that being said, let's get into this beautiful webinar. Are we all on the same page? Thumbs up in the chat, thumbs up somewhere so I can see you that you are here with me. Yes. Okay. I see you're here with me. So we're going to read this first piece. I'm going to close this out. If people come in, I should be able to see it. Okay. So it says the 13 billion opportunity, how to work with NYCHA, learn how to position your business for city contracts. And this is no gatekeeping, just game. Good. We're all on the same page. I introduced myself, who I am. Let me give you a little bit more, right? NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, controls over $13 billion every single year, yet less than 10% of us even try to tap in. I'm not here to sell dreams. I'm here to show you the door. Whether you run a cleaning company, a nonprofit, or tech hustle, there's a lane for you inside of NYCHA, right? Let's start with why this matters and why you've probably never heard or been told this game before. NYCHA contracts that matter, right? Most small businesses are leaving money on the table. NYCHA's budget is massive. The opportunities are real, but you have to know where to look. $13 billion annual budget, NYCHA's total operational budget creates thousands of contract opportunities, 152 task orders registered in 1 year alone, and 205.7 million is contract value worth of opportunities most small businesses missed, right? The opportunity is real. The question is, are you positioned to catch it? Now, let me break this down to you. Of course, you're not going to just walk away with a $1 billion something dollar contract. What we have is something called prime and subcontractor. Later in a couple of weeks, I will talk and focus more on prime and subcontractors. But a prime contract is the person that gets the direct contract from the city, or let's say from NYCHA. So I have a construction company. I go to NYCHA. NYCHA needs something done in the building, like that big building that just blew up in Mitchell, right? NYCHA needs somebody to come take care of that. So I'm going to come and I'm going to do the contract with NYCHA. I am a prime. But let's say Rena has a constructing company as well. Now, she has a couple of youth that works with her that does OSHA, all that other stuff, whatever that's needed, flagging, blah, blah. But she has this small company. So we're able to contract as a subcontract to Rena. So Rena, you can get up to, I think, 30% of whatever the total contract is. Okay, so if their contract is at a couple of million, you're going to get a couple of 100,000. Something similar to that. right? But you don't have no idea how. And not everybody can get it. You have to be registered with New York City. So of course, we talked about the registration in the first one. So Raina, I'll make sure that you get the original video of the first one. But if you're registered with the city, you need to be in passport. You first need to have your LLC and your EIN number. And you should have a bank account. And I always push everybody to bank with Chase. Not that they pay me, but just saying that it's most secure, and they have the ACH. They have a lot of great benefits because, to be honest, you don't even have to put no money into the bank for the first 60 days. And that's your business and your personal account. Okay. So you want to have your bank account, you want to have your LLC, your EIN number, but there's other registrations you should have. You need to be in passport, PASSPORT, gov, and this the payment security something. You look it up, you'll find it. Don't hold me to it. And then you have PIP. Yes, Kim, you got passport, right? Yes. Then you have PIP, which is the payment informational portal, where you register your bank account information. So anytime you get a contract, they want to make sure you have that because that's their way of moving money through the city and knowing where it goes. Then you want to make sure that you are registered with eComply. So y'all want to write this down: E lowercase and a big C, comply. eComply is for Section 3 business concern vendors. Now, Section 3, the only rule is low income or live in housing. You have to be low income or you have to live in housing in order to get that. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you are a business and you get contracted, because a lot of people ask this question too, right? If I get contracted and I live in housing, does that affect my income? Like my income and my payment? To be honest with you, it doesn't. So let's say you make up to 50,000 on a contract with NYCHA. It will not affect your rent. Now you want to know how that happens, right? Because it's in your business. Because it's in your business name. It's not in your name. And the fact that it's a temporary job. So even if it's $50,000, it's temporary. So now you know how the money kind of flows. You have to ask yourself, am I registered for this money? Right? The next. Let me stay here for a second. NYCHA's fiscal year. So FY, I'm always going to see FY everywhere. That's fiscal year. Usually fiscal year is between July 1st and June 30th of the following year. So right now we're in fiscal year 26, although it's technically to 2025. Okay. So a lot of this stuff you'll hear fiscal year, this fiscal year, that they're talking about that time frame. All right. In 2023, the budget was 13 billion. They registered 150. We read that. So the money is moving. It's just not reaching us because the information isn't shared where we live, and most folks never hear about it. So what exactly is NYCHA buying with all this money? Let's talk about that. Y'all ready to see what they're buying, what they're purchasing? Yes. Okay. So NYCHA buys, right? You don't have to be a builder to back a contract. Of course, they do construction and repair, building maintenance, renovations, capital improvement across 300,000 developments. They do IT and technology, software, hardware, data management, and digital infrastructure support. They do youth programs, educational services, recreation, after-school programs, and community support. Facilities cleaning, janitorial services, landscaping, property maintenance for thousands of units, right? Food services, catering for community events, senior centers, youth programs, supplies and equipment, everything from office supplies to specialized equipment and materials. From catering to coding, NYCHA buys it all. The key is knowing how to position your business the right category. Now, here's me, right? Here's me out. What I also want to stress to you is 334 NYCHA developments in New York City. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm going to talk more towards the TPA money and how you get the city funded from TPA funding. However, I want to offer you this. If you are in the system as Section 3 business concern, you are top priority and first pick to get pulled for the whole city, not just NYCHA, for the whole city as a vendor. So it places you in a space where you're unique. I am a consultant. There's like maybe 3 of us on this list. And on top of that, there's only about 60 people that live in NYCHA out of the 334 that's actually on this list. Did y'all hear what I said? You heard what I said. Now imagine you're a caterer and you're living in your house and you're making a big pot of what? Rice, right? And somebody's like, we want to get rice for this big event at City Hall. you will be one of the first people that they will call to give you that contract. And you could be like, hey, it's going to cost $5,000. I have a catering this, I have that, plus my famous Jollof rice, Spanish rice, Jamaican rice, whatever it is. I'm bringing that to the table. And I need people, I need to hire my people. So it's going to be this much. And they give you all this money to do that. You make your money, it goes into your bank account for your business. But this is how you position yourself. This is what they're talking about. Are we clear? This is everybody, everybody can get it. Now, let's go here. It says NYCHA buys everything, right? We talked about that. If you have a legit business, there's a contract for it. The key is positioning yourself to be seen. You don't have to change who you are. Just make the system recognize. Hold on. You don't have to change who you are. Just make the system recognize what you bring, right? And I seen something come into the chat. How can we apply for the contract? The big contract itself. So you will want to be a part of the passport. Passport gives out all of the bids of the city. And you'd also want to be around looking at the New York City record. New York City record also tells you what contracts is coming up and stuff like that. But you have to be registered at Passport to receive all that information. And then the in city records, I'm going to be doing a webinar about that coming up soon too. So when I do that one, you'll get more information around that. So that's how you apply. So it tells you about the bidding process, what you need to do, etc., like that. So you can get the big contract and be the prime. But the truth of the matter is, it's really good to be the subcontractors and just get in the room, because you want to know how things work and also want to put yourself as a partner to say that you've been doing this for a while. What we talk about is all this money that's out here, but how to obtain it. Raina, I just met you. If I told you that I was a great comedian, which I am, but if I told you I was a great comedian, you would still want proof that I'm a comedian before you give me any money to work at your show, correct? However, let's say Kimberly is like the funniest person we all know in the whole entire world, right? Because she's hella hilarious and we know that. But let's say she's the funniest person we know in the whole world and she's been doing comedy for almost 3 years. And then she says, I have a team with me, right? I have a team with me. And she says, I'm bringing Rema and I'm bringing Fire. You got to pay me this and a third. Raina, you're not going to have no doubt with paying her anything. However, when I get there, I perform the hell out of the show. Now you're connected to me and you're saying, Raina, you say, Rema, listen, you are funny. I want to book you for the next thing that I do. It's about building relationships through other relationships. So Fire, yes, you can go for that contract. But I would say try to connect with somebody that's already have that relationship. So you're just in the room and massaging that relationship. So when it comes out again, you can kind of like go for it. And although we look at things like you're stepping on my toes, listen, we ain't gonna be here long. I like money. I need to get paid. Right? Ain't nothing. They ain't no. Listen, there's a lot of money out here to get. So if you feel like I step on a toe, then you must not know how to get the money, and that ain't got nothing to do with me. And I know that sounds terrible, but life is life. You understand me? I gotta eat. You gotta eat. I came here to be subcontracted by you so I could learn. And a lot of people that I talk to, I'm very transparent about my elevation. Be transparent about yours. Listen, I'm coming here to figure it out so I can one day go for my own. And hopefully I can. And I can work alongside of you. And when that day comes, I can get a letter of recommendation that I worked with you. Now, we was talking about grants to be fiscal sponsorship. And then I'll be telling y'all more about how to partner with organizations that get these bigger grants. And then you go ahead and get like you can go ahead and get a subcontract with them, partner with them, get to know them, and then they can become your fiscal sponsorship, right? Where now they're getting the money funneled through them, so you can spend it for operational costs. They keep a good little percent, like 8 to 10% of the money, right? I had a contract that I was looking at for $600,000 for this season. And I was like, I want that contract. I couldn't carry the contract. So I reached out to an organization I knew that would be able to carry it. Although eventually I said, do I really care to do all that work by myself? Because I don't have a team. So I was like, I can hire people. I can do all that stuff. Do I care to do it? The $600 I was giving them 10%, which is more than what they usually would have gotten if they was a fiscal sponsor, just so they can handle the receipt part and the money part. If you ask me, it's like legal laundering, right? So I said that to them, and I was like, they about to get $60,000, and all they have to do is take a receipt and send it back up. It takes, I'll do everything else. I canceled it. They actually won the grant. And I decided to be their consultant versus be anything else. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do the work. I love the job, but I don't want to do the work. Y'all do the work and I can just tell y'all what to do. I like that better. And then I can get the 60%. I get the 6,000. Y'all get You see how that works? Right. All right. So we're gonna go into the next piece right now. Let's be real. If it's that easy, why isn't everyone doing it? Let's talk about that. Right. The problem isn't ability to it's access. It's not being registered. Many businesses don't even know about Passport. Raina, this is the first time you're hearing about Passport, correct? Right. The city's vendor registration system, without it, you're invisible to procurement officers. Missing paperwork, insurance certificates, tax compliance, business licenses. One missing document can disqualify you from the $50,000 contract. In my school, SKOOL, it's called Employed by Self. Y'all gonna see it. I'm gonna send you an email. I have a list and templates for you. So now you'll know what the check off list is. It's $40 a month, and I'm going to be doing these seminars every week. So you have a check off list, particularly for this. Whatever your insurances is, what you need, this is everything is there, and it tells you what you need, and then it also guides you. So you want to be a part of my school. With this insurance certificates, y'all can take this down. This is a freebie for you. I have Next Insurance. I paid $25 a month. I get a $1 million contract. I am a consultant. Look into different insurances that work for you. Next do not pay me, but I like them. It was really simple, really easy. It reminded me like messing with LegalZoom. Like you just press a button, and now you're insured. And now I'm able to tell the people that want to hire me as a vendor, I'm insured, which is a really big deal everywhere, especially if you're dealing with like DOE, which we'll get into when I start telling y'all about DOE in a couple of weeks. Got it? Next week, we're doing MWBE. All right. It says fear of compliance. Let me see something. All right. Fear of compliance. The rules feel overwhelming, but once you understand the system, it's repeatable and profitable. These barriers are real, but they're not permanent. Every successful vendor had to learn this system, and so can you. I say Google everything. Google everything. Learn it, read it, look it up. Um, Go into the system yourself, check some stuff out yourself, see what that looks like, right? Uh, I got it the insurance last week. So you went and got the insurance last week. Is it next? Do you have next insurance? So she got it. So you know what I'm talking about, Kim. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. So I'm gonna offer, like I said, a lot of information here because I want y'all to set yourselves up. And if you haven't, at least look into it. You might not even be interested in these kind of lanes, but look into it. It's available information. Okay. The next is so these was the common barriers, right? I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the three first moves that get you in the room. So let's talk about that. So 3 keys to positioning yourself. Passport, and his passport is spelled big PAS and then port registration. Get into the city vendor database. This is your entry ticket. Without it, you don't exist in procurement world. Like nobody knows who you are. Business folder ready. Keep all your documents organized, your insurances, your licenses, your tax compliance, past work examples, which again, I have that inside of my school. So you'll be able to get like templates to help you fix that up. Also, and put that here too. Also, when the opportunity knocks, you don't need to move fast. Have you ever heard somebody missing an opportunity for like a grant? And I know we're going to talk about that in a second, but like a real opportunity, like you can go for it or a fellowship or something like that. And the deadline is like in the next 2 or 3 days. And they like, well, you should apply for it. And you're like, I ain't got time to do that. I don't have 5 minutes to get this done and et cetera, right? The truth is that if you already set up, all you're doing is sending them an email. You already have it. I now have a packet. I now have a packet for currently I have a packet for, hey Sheena, I see you entered. Currently I have a packet for when I'm doing my vendoring. So my vendor packet comes with my scope of work. It comes with my resume, my bio. It comes with my proposal. It comes with my insurance, my organization, article of organization. It comes with my letter for my EIN. And if it's for my nonprofit, it comes with my letter for my 501c3 paperwork. Yes, 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 yes. Sheena says, good evening. Good evening, Sheena. So the next piece is vendor visibility. Monitor the city record. Remember I said that fire earlier? Monitor the city record. Attend vendor events. So y'all definitely need to be registered with Passport to see when there's events around the city. Just yesterday, which is the irony of it all, I think yesterday or Friday, a friend of mine was like, oh, there's a NYCHA, how to contract with NYCHA event in the city, and I'm going to it. But here's the thing, all this stuff be on hush. Do y'all hear me? All this stuff be on hush. If you're not already in the system, nobody's telling you any of this stuff. And when they tell it to you, it comes across an email that looks like this very, very fast. If you live in NYCHA, you get something called REES, the resident engagement something, something, right? REES, your email. So that email, it has a whole lot of stuff on it. And sometimes you look at it and be like, oh, not looking at it. But I want to stress to y'all to look at it. Earlier this year, I'm going to whisper this because I don't want everybody to know. Let me bring you in a little closer. Earlier this year, I signed up for a program through what bank was it? It was Bank of America, and it was a school. I don't remember the school right away, but I signed up for this program. And it was for women entrepreneurs. And when I tell you the benefits, we were all women from around the world, all on this one call every week, and it was like a 6-week course. We didn't get credit for it, but we got certificates of completion. It's actually on my LinkedIn. If you check out my LinkedIn, I got somebody right in here. Yes, Middleton Cornell University. Thank you, Kim. Yep, it was Cornell University that had it. So, and that was a big deal, but it was inside those little writings that they gave in that email. So look at it. And those opportunities are like right here too. Pre-register, sign up, this and the third. Unless you have the email, like unless you're on their email list to receive stuff, you're not receiving anything either. So you got to be like due diligent, like just let me look for this stuff. Where is it? And real talk, these moves open the door, but they don't make the money. Knowing how to bid, when to pursue, what to say in your proposal, that's what separate those who gets contracts and those who get frustrated. Let me see. Yep, works Reese. Works, it says Antigua Middleton works at Reese. She's excellent. Great. Great, Kim, great. The next piece is, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the, I got that. Before you decide if this is for you, let's weigh the good and the not so good. Y'all good with that? The real talk, pros and cons. Here we go. Government money moves slow, but it moves, right? The pros, steady, reliable work. Government budgets are predictable. You can know when they come, when they don't come. Also, for those that join the school, I also have dates. And what I mean by dates, I have dates of usually when money comes out and when money is when they're doing most of their bidding processes. So in that time frame, you want to know stuff. And when you join the school, you're not just getting this class, you're getting everything. So you're getting even last week's notes, last week's checklist, last week's dates. So for the dates for NYCHA, when is their fiscal year up? When do they need to have their money spent? The same thing for DOE. A lot of people hear DOE fiscal year is not the same as the regular fiscal year that I mentioned earlier. Sometimes their fiscal year ends in December. So right now is the great time to get in all those contracts with these DOE schools, right? What they call them, the public charter schools, I think it is. Something like that, right? You want to get in with that. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks as well. But for right now, I'm just letting y'all know, like, this is how you do it, right? So steady work, build credibility fast, a NYCHA contract on your resume, open doors everywhere. Community impact, your work directly improves where people live. Scale potential, start with one contract, grow into a portfolio, fire, that'll be you. Payment security, the city pays eventually. So they have to pay you for your work. If they don't pay up front, they still have to pay you for your work. Y'all clear on that? Yes? Right. Cons, the paperwork is heavy. Documentation requires real patience. Requirements, they're real. Patience is required. Procurement cycles can take months. Insurance costs. You'll need proper coverage up front. So let me give you a little bit. So I was talking inside of my speakers group, and they had mentioned that the DOE asks for they ask for like a background check insurance, like insurance for child welfare. And that insurance can run you up to about $4,000 a year if you're not aware of it. So in this case, Fire, I guess this would be something like I would tell somebody to partner with someone that has the insurance that you can kind of work in their organization as a subcontractor to get in to DOE. But understand what is being asked when you're looking at these bids. What is the insurance level? And if next, let's say next insurance doesn't cover that, but you need to find it somewhere else. How much is it? Is it worth it? So your insurance, you're paying, I'm paying insurance right now, and I'm not a vendor yet, right? Is it worth having if I'm not there yet? The answer is yes. Find something light and then add later on. Look into different types of insurances that might be needed, right? Competition exists, but it's not as fierce as you think. Guess what? It's only 4 of y'all on this call. I promoted this to about 800 people. I have seats for another 93 people. I'm telling y'all, not everybody knows this. So competition is there, but because people are not taking advantage of these opportunities, even this conversation. If you thought you gained some stuff on this conversation, just let me get a thumbs up real quick. Let me know I'm doing something. That's what I'm talking about. People are not taking advantage of these conversations. You understand me? Now, if they did, they'll be getting all this stuff, right? So there's not real competition out here. Plus, I said before, there's 334 NYCHA developments across New York City. You can't possibly service everybody. I can't service everybody. Let me give you some background on why this is interesting. So let me finish this real quick. It says, learning curve, the first bid is the hardest. So after you get that, you'll be able to swim through some other stuff, right? But it's pushing through to see what it's like to get the bid. I personally just wanted to get one check because I wanted to be a little bit more vocal understanding when I did this seminar. But I decided, excuse my language, screw it. I don't need that. I can still teach y'all from the angle and area that I know. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I didn't get the check, it's all right. Somebody, we need to come together to get this check. Maybe next time we get on this call, Fire be like, Rema, I was able to put that bid in. I got the check. That could be in 4 months from now. She's jumping on the call like, Rema, we got the check. We good. Am I right or wrong? Like, what are we talking about here? So I'm putting it out there regardless, before, after. Listen, I got the information. Here's the information for you, right? The truth, if you're built for entrepreneurship, you can handle it. It's not easy, but neither is building a business from scratch. The difference here is the city wants to work with small, diverse vendors. You just have to show up prepared. So before I get into this, I want to tell you a little background of why this is important. In our communities, as I mentioned earlier on, we don't have a lot of people that is out here to help us. If you've started a business or a nonprofit in the last 2 years, you see a problem right now that's happening. A lot of these businesses and organizations have been around for many, many years, and they're a little bit further from the problem now because the problems that was in 1995 is not the problems in 2025. Am I right or wrong? You understand me? And we need some today solutions. I have an issue with things not being equitable. I mentioned to y'all, I worked in all of these different arenas. Why aren't we with people? Why aren't we with people that are how can I put, like, and people that look like me, that talk like me, that make me feel like me? I want to see people like me help me. I asked a friend of mine, I said, you work for a family enrichment center? He said, yeah. I said, there's nothing there for me, but it's for families. I said, am I not a family? I have 4 children, 3 on earth, 1 in heaven. My oldest is 25. My second is 19. Well, my second would have been 23. My third, she's 19. And my baby, he's 15. There's nothing here for me. Y'all give out Similac and Pampers. What am I supposed to do here? Work here. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. There's only room for us to work in these sectors, not be serviced as a participant in these sectors. Right? Who's giving us what? Who's helping us with what? Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's coming to save us. So we got to save ourselves. So my goal is, let's say Kim, because Kim do have a beautiful nonprofit, Family Ventures, shout out to her. Let's say Kim wanted to get into the business of being NYCHA vendor. I would want to help Kim be vendor because I know Kim and her program would help me. The program I mentioned to y'all earlier wasn't for broke mothers. It wasn't for mothers that have drug use issues. It wasn't for mothers that is in recovery or reentry. It wasn't for mothers, and I'm explaining why I'm saying this. It wasn't for mothers that are in college. It wasn't for mothers that are Black or Spanish. It was for mothers. It was inclusive. And it didn't have anything to do with trauma. Eventually, you will see through healing because everybody's together, right? We're all going to talk about a story. I'm going to help you learn how to tell your story to make the money. But the group isn't about that. I don't want to go to another healing circle. Personally, don't put that on a flyer. I don't want to go. Okay, I don't want to go. I said what I said. I don't want to go. I don't want to talk about my trauma no more. Can we talk about how I get out of the projects, please? Can we talk about that? Is that all right? Is that legal? That's good. Can y'all tell me how to do this? And I don't have to work for y'all because I don't want to work for y'all either. Tired. Want to work for me. Tell me how to make some money. Some $5 here, there. Okay. And I say that because it's important. Jobs is out there, but there's no programs for us. So my hope is to uplift a community of people where they can be positioned to get this money so they can take care of not only their families, but take care of us with the programs and the businesses that they have. Imagine your business right now is doing research to help with asthma. Let's talk about it. My son passed from an asthma attack a week before his 13th birthday, and we're coming across his 10th year anniversary, right? And what if your business was to help that? What if your program, your whatever, was to help mothers that deal with natural cause death, not necessarily death from a gun, but your program just felt like that's what I want to do? How do I help you get funded? Matter of fact, one better, how do I help you go up against a monster organization that has been around for more than 30 years, that every year lands that funding? It's time to get our money. It's time to take it back. It's time to level the playing field. All you have to do is have knowledge. Oof. And I can't eat by myself. I'm going to say that in the look in the camera. I can't eat by myself. Can we all eat together? Yes. And that's what this looks like. Educating each other around stuff that we know. That's why I said people ain't gatekeeping. They just don't know how to put it together, package it, and tell other people this is what you need to have. And I'm not mad at anybody that have not helped me along the way. I don't really care. I'm thankful to God that I was able to learn something. Makes sense to me. Thank you, Raina. I appreciate you very, very much. Right? It's quite a few of us in this world. And, I didn't learn none of that until I started talking about my story. See, that's how important and powerful these spaces are, because we get to do that, right? And then you see me and it's like, this child ain't going through nothing. You go to my house, these kids are happy, everybody happy. I don't know. But it's called parental leadership. I decided to invest in myself, in my healing. I decided to invest in others. That makes me altruistic and it makes me feel good. If any of y'all in the next year make $1 million, I just want $5 and I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Just pay your membership for the $40 a month for my school and I'll be fine. I don't need nothing else from that. Just it'd be like Rema class gave me. Where's the lie? Right? Where's the lie? So I thank you, Raina, for that. But I found the power of my story, just like you guys would do the same. And hence why this information is important. I don't know which one of your family members who needs it or your people at, but somebody needs to be told this information. So before we get into that, right? So we have another comment. Rema, I got your back. I know you got my back. You got my back, my front. Kim, I ain't been without in so long because you've been in my life. Let me put you like that. You got my back, my front. You show up when I don't think nobody's gonna come. So I just want you to know that. Like, you a big deal in my heart. Just a big deal. Look at the smile. I love her so much. And then your peoples is here. They love you too. Like, bruh, like, you know who you are, right? Yes, we have your back and everything else. Me too from today on. Listen, a fire's been on me the whole time this week. Make sure, and I felt like there was a finger that got pointed at some point, right? Make sure I am not blocked for this next call. Fix it. I was like, I don't even know how to do that. She was gonna miss tonight too. She ain't know. I didn't. I didn't have no faith. I came to sit down and look.
Let me
Huh?
say this. I was flipping my toes and my fingers like, Lord, please let me get in.
When I looked and saw that you was in the waiting room, I was like, yes, because she don't know.
So I know.
She don't know.
We got through it all.
Appreciate it.
God made it happen.
Yes, God did. Yes,
Yeah.
he did. So what I wanted to get into, right? I'm gonna transition a little bit into what TPA funds are. Is that okay with y'all? Can we transition? So I'm gonna stop sharing here. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and then I'm going to share a different screen. I want to share. Can I share some money with y'all? Can we get a yes? Can I share some money with y'all? I'm gonna share some money. Do any of you guys live in the projects? Do anyone live in the projects? What development you live in? Fire, where you at?
Are we live? Because I'm on a low profile right now.
Jesus.
I'm trying to be.
We not
I'm
live, but I
nice
am recording. You can
You're gonna have to stay low key right now for different reasons. But I'm in
don't worry.
NYCHA.
But you in NYCHA, that's fine.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
fine. So we're gonna close you out. Kim, you are in Jeff, yes?
Yes, I'll just check my rice.
Sheena, are you in the PJs? Raina, are you in the PJs? No. Sheena, are you in the PJs? Let me see. No, but I live in Harlem. I bet Sheena, I got you. That's my girl. So
Okay.
Kim, can I use your development really quick?
Sure, Jefferson
And we in
Housing.
Jeff, and I'm in Wagner. Okay. So what y'all looking at? Can you see my cursor? All right, I'm gonna give y'all some inside scoop. Don't tell nobody I told y'all this. Okay, y'all promise not tell nobody I told y'all this. Thumbs up. All right, so this is the development line. This is the fiscal year 2023 budget allocation. So that's what they got for that year. This is fiscal year 2022 money that rolled over that they did not spend for that year. You got what I'm saying? Now, this is the total budget of the 2023 with the rollover money for that year of 2023. Are we on the same page? Yes. This is the incubraces and the actuals of that year. That's how much money they spent. And this is the funds available for that year. I want to go to Jefferson Houses. Now, I'm not sure how y'all spending now because we got a dope ass president over there, pardon my language, and she might be on her game. So I just want to show y'all. So when y'all scroll down, I'm gonna show y'all where you can find this because this is public knowledge. This is not something that you're like, oh, is this sneaky? It's not. It's really public knowledge. You just don't know where to find it. So we're going past all the Bronx ones. We're going all the way to the, I think this is Brooklyn. And then now we are in Manhattan. So you see Jefferson Houses right here? Y'all following me? So Jefferson for the year of 2023 received $22,000 for the year. The rollover money of what they was taking from 2022 was $168,000. Kim, are you here with me? Right. Altogether in the year 2023, they had $190,000 to spend. All they spent was $25,000. Are y'all ready? So in 2024, rollover money, they had $164,000 to spend on programming, training, on and this is TPA funds. I'm gonna tell you what TPA funds could go to. Kim is having a heart attack. Kim, you have a heart attack. Are y'all all still on the page?
I am too. I already see my residents on the list, and I cannot believe that they did not spend what they had in the budget, for the community here. It's sad, and we have needs.
I told y'all I was gonna show y'all something. Melvin, welcome. I told y'all I was gonna show y'all something. So y'all gotta unmute yourselves if y'all would like to talk about this real quick.
Oh,
right?
they definitely gonna give me some money to help these families. Oh, these families, and we in the poverty over here in Jefferson houses.
Hold on, something is happening. Somebody came in and I think they brought a bot. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Melvin came in with a bot. Don't know how that happened. Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Apply these permissions. Decline. Y'all see what I was saying, right? And now he's jumping around on everybody else's page.
Oh, Melvin, get out. Come on.
I can't do it. I need you to talk, Kim, because he jumped on yours. Unmute yourself really quickly.
Melvin got to get out.
There we go. I found it. I'm going to try to remove it.
We gotta exit out. Try to block it, if anything. This is sad. The enemy is a liar. The enemy is a liar.
All right.
That
So
one
he's
better get
out.
out of here.
He's out. And I don't know, that probably was and this is what happened last time fired. I was having a couple of these things happen. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna share again. But y'all was liking that, right? Y'all got what I was saying? So that link.
You were showing.
Huh?
So we like that you were showing about the truth.
Baby.
Man.
So I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna share it. So what I was saying was, this is the money that they have to spend on programming. What I'm about to read to you is everything about the TPA funding. And if y'all cool with me reading, I'm going to read it straight through and y'all could get an idea of how to go about getting access to this. All right. When I saw this, the thing that I saw that stood out the most is if you look on this side, this is how much money they had at the beginning of 2024. This is how much money they spend. They don't know how to spend this. This development is Baruch houses. My mama lived there. They spent $21,000 that year. But look, they have $318,000 left over. What is a $10,000 program? And in the year, they receive $32,000 every year. Now, let me tell you something else. This ain't got nothing to do with their Family Day funds. What y'all don't know about Family Day is sponsored through councilmatic funds. So that Ayalas and their assemblymen and everybody that's their council members, they give them like $1,200, $5,000 a year to do their Family Day. So the t-shirts and the food and all that is not coming from the TPA funds. For TPA funds, they spend their money on their team stipend. They spend their money on like prints and papers to pass out. They spend their money for the meetings so that this way they can have meetings. And they can't touch this money unless it's according to the rules, which I'm going to read to y'all in a few seconds. But all we on
I have a quick question for you. I have a quick question for you. I have a quick question for you. What is the last column for? What was that for? The amount that we're looking at?
I got you, babe. I'm gonna go back up and read it again. So I'll start from the beginning.
I'm going to take a quick screenshot of the column so I know for sure. That's a lot of money being wasted. Wow.
So, and I'll send y'all the link to this so y'all can see it. It's public access. The only thing is they have not updated it in 3 years. So I can't tell y'all what fiscal year 25 looked like. But if you look at their spending across these quarters, if you just combine, if you go to this, you're going to see a long list of, or every quarter leading up to this for like the last, I think 5 years or more. And when you go to like the other pages like this, you could kind of see what that site's spending budget looked like for those quarters. So you can kind of do a guesstimate of how much they have today, according to how they spend. They don't know how to spend. They don't know how to do they don't know how to do proposals for NYCHA to approve it. So what I'm telling y'all right now is there's somebody in NYCHA that approves all of the proposals that go in. Let's say you had a training program. You wanted to give that training program to Castle Hill. Castle Hill right now gets $30,000 a year every fiscal year. So every June, July, they're getting ready to get $30,000. You say, well, I just want to put in a little $15,000 program. They may still have access because look, they have $190,000 they ain't spent. Wow. Now, here's the thing about the city. The city ain't never got no money. We're going to talk about that, right? Never got no money. They're getting ready to take this money. They're getting ready to take because they don't know how to spend it. So They're trying to figure out ways to get the TA boards to spend their money and this. If I'm 87, 90 years old, I don't want to owe nobody anything. I don't know how to spend this money because I think I'm going to owe somebody some money. That's what happens. I'm not touching somebody. You ain't giving me no money. I'm not touching your money. You crazy? Me? Not me. Now, that last line, like I said, is the funds available. That's the stuff that it added up to. But y'all ready for me to read a little bit about this TPA?
Yes.
Thumbs up, please. All right. Take notes because this is the good one. What is TPA? TPA stands for tenant participation. TPA stands for tenant participation activity. It's money that HUD, the Federal Housing Development Department, gives NYCHA so that resident associations, the elected groups in each development, can plan and run programs for people who live there. The goal is to help residents have a voice in how their buildings are ran, build skill to manage community programs, improve life for everyone in public housing. Now, y'all understand what I just said. This is what it's for. If my mindset is not on this, I can't do that. What I found in studying boards is that they have a lot of emotional baggage. They don't necessarily have the unique skill of organizing. They don't have the skill of emotional intelligence all the time. Everything is, I don't like her, so I'm not giving her nothing. But you can't be that when you're a president. You can't do that. But who's training you not to do that? You got voted in through popular vote because you hand out turkeys every Thanksgiving. People say she's a nice person, but you can't organize. You don't even organize your own life. You don't know how to do no budgeting. You don't know how to do nothing. Can we talk life? Can we talk life? I'm angry all the time. I'm angry all the time. How you president? You're supposed to be welcoming people into the community. You can't even do that right. So how are you supposed to budget $190,000? And you're told you have this. Now, what I learned by just hearing things, because I'm getting ready to run for vice president, so I'll be able to tell y'all this a little different, right? Because I'm spilling tea. But when they become these things, what I'm hearing is the fact that they get to pull from this money every year. So they get to create their own budget on what they're going to spend, and they tell their coordinators or whoever, and then they allot that money to them for the spending. And whenever they need to get more money, I guess they got to do budget modifications to get that money. So when you're planning for your year, you're not planning to use all 190,000 freaking dollars, bruh. Let me just use $125,000 in the year. I'm hiring Kim, her nonprofit. I'm bringing Fire in to do something over here. I'm bringing Sheena in to help people work out. Baby, when I tell you, let me get my hands in Wagner. Because I'm about to get my hands in Wagner, be vice president. But I tell you, because I know how much we got. I'm going to go to Wagner real quick just to show you what we had. We had, I think, $300,000 before our old president passed away. My new president just quit. So I'm very happy. Every year, Wagner get 31,000. We had 258,000 in fiscal year 2022 that rolled over. By fiscal year 2023, in the combination, we had $280,000. They only spent 35,000 in 2023. We had a rollover of $244,000. We had $250,000. You know what? Let me just shut up. I'm gonna just stay right there for a second. Now imagine having this knowledge and can't do nothing about it. Imagine listening to this and you walk through your development and you walk through your housing spaces and you just say to yourself, why we don't have more? It takes nothing to educate somebody and tell them, like, hey, listen, get your stuff together. I'm pulling you in. And we think it's nepotism, but it's not. Fire, I don't know what you about to do, but let's say you about to do something big, right? It's not nepotism if you got the plan, if you put all your paperwork in, if you're contracted, insured, if you're the consultant, if me and you going back and forth and you're telling me about this big dream you got. It's nothing for me to tell you, go to the community center because it's free. Go sit in there for about 3 weeks, do your program and let me see it. When you do your program, because here's another caveat that I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna lean in a little bit more. In order to really contract with them, what you really need is a list of names from people that live in the resident development. If you don't have that list, you can't do your program there, because in order for the president to put that money in and that proposal, he has to have a list of residents that want that program. How it's supposed to go is this. I'm the president. I'm supposed to go to all of my meetings and say, hey, what programs would y'all like? Somebody's supposed to jump out and say, I want a weight loss program. Got it. Not a problem. Can I get 5 other people that like it? And every couple of days, I'm supposed to just push out, what do y'all want? What do y'all want? What do y'all want? And if I get 60 people that say they want a weight loss program and Sheena is registered with the city, I'm supposed to go to Sheena and say, Sheena, I'm my residents. I have 60 residents that's interested in your program or interested in a weight work loss program. Can you put that program together? Sheena's then to give me her feedback, her proposal. I give her a checklist of what that is. And mind you, if you join the school, you'll know what that checklist is. But I give her a checklist of how to be a consultant with me, and she gives me everything I need. And then I take that whole packet and I put it in to NYCHA.
I have a question for you again. Another one. Here's another one. How many tenants would I need on that list?
You just need to say that tenants want it.
There's over 15 to 20 developments in my neighborhood, and overall, so how many? Because I deal with domestic violence. That's what I do. I do domestic violence that impacts families.
So
I provide mental health, legal advocacy, housing, and more. So that's what I do.
So I'm going to give you some free game. Okay. And I'm going to put you where you can be placed for you to get your names yourself. So I need y'all all to take notes. I'm going to give you a layout. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do, and she always takes my book and writes on my book. I love Kim. That is my book. I wrote that book. Kim, show them the cover. Show them the cover. Go ahead. Let me show off a little bit. Show them the cover of the book, Kim. Movie pen. Movie paper. Love it. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. So the first thing you want to do is put your program together. I already know you have a program. Thank you, Kim. And I already know you have a program. Put your program together. Figure out how many weeks it's going to take you to write your program. Okay. How many weeks is your program going to exist? So let's create a program right now. I'm just going to spit something back to you, and I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you the rundown of what you need to do. So I have domestic, mental health, domestic violence, mental health program for young moms in the middle of the projects, whatever, right? And I have a community center here where I live, right? I have a school where I live, and I have the library where I live. All these places are free to use. Got it? I want to host something for my youth that lives in the community for this particular demographic that goes right along with my mission, whatever my mission is. Yes. The first thing I want to do is, what do I want to take them on a journey for? I want to take them from I want to take them from the standpoint of thinking that they don't have self-worth to knowing that they're worth it, right? That's going to take me about 6 weeks to do. This is how the program is going to be set up. I need to meet with them once a week. It should be an hour and a half long. Anything more than 3 hours, you want to make sure they're eating. So you want to provide food for any program that's longer than 3 hours, unless you tell them bring their own food. We all on the same page? Got it. If it's too far and they have to travel, you want to provide Metro cards. We're clear? And if you are doing program and you're writing, look at my hands. How am I doing that? How am I doing that? Did my hand go up and it just took me as I wanted my hand up? That's crazy. Anyway, so let's say I have, so now you have the program, you know what you want to do, you wrote your program out, the program is lasting a certain amount of time, blase, right? You now want to figure out, what are they leaving with? What is this person leaving with? Okay. What is the impact they're going to have after they leave? So if I do 6 weeks with you, you should have had gone from wherever your mindset was to a mindset shift. With that mindset shift, you should also have a tangible result within 30 days of leaving my program, right? We're on the same page. Now, in that 30 days of leaving my program, I do a follow-up with you, and I make sure that you hit some kind of milestone you made a promise to declaration to before leaving. Now I have proof of concept that my program works. But let me go back a little bit. Where are we doing this program? Like I said, we in our community, right? In the community, You want a flyer. You want a flyer. How do you get permission to flyer? Now, a lot of people, they don't want to give you money. They're not going to give you this money. You're going to have to ask for this money. But you don't ask for this money right away because you ain't supposed to know about this money. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and talk to 3 different people and let them know you're doing this program. The first person you're going to talk to, or the first group you're going to talk to, is your TA board. You're going to let them know with the flyer in hand. I put this program together. I'm going to be at the community center, our community center. Let me rewind. You're going to talk to the community center first. You talk to the director of the community center or whatever spaces you're going to use, except for the library. Library, anybody can go in there. But if you're going into like a school, or you're going into a church, or you're going into a community center, and I love community center spaces because it's right on the ground of NYCHA. And you go in a space and say, hey, director, do you have a day of the week that I could come and do program here? I want to do program once a week for 2 hours. And all community centers, there's a rule. The rule is that you can't come to do program between the hours of 2 and 6 during school days. So Monday through Friday, 2 and 6, the center is not available for adults. But the center is usually open up at 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 p.m. So you can run program from 10 to 2. Got it? When it comes down to the evening hours, most centers are open until 10, 11 o'clock. So you can run program again from 6 to 10. Got it? So you say, I want an evening shift, unless you feel like the daytime is when you're going to get most of the people that you're targeting. And you say, I want 2 hours, an hour and a half, and then a half hour to clean up, 15 minutes to start, 15-minute cleanup. And they're going to say, what day you want? Watch this, how easy it is. What day you want? We have these days available. Why? Because anybody you bring into their center is numbers on their list. Are we all on the same page here? So you're bringing new people in, it's numbers. Because they have a deliverable to DYCD that they have to bring in numbers, and they don't do good engagement at all. And because they don't host program, and the only program they have is their child care program, they don't have a basketball program here, there. It's everything is outsourced. Everything is co-locators. And if you become a co-locator, that's different. So co-locators allow me to ask Kim for money. Kim will say, do you have a location to do a program that we're paying you to do? And you say, yup, I'm a co-locator at this center. So you want to look into being a co-locator if you're planning on getting funding. But let's back up and stay with the TPA funds. Now, here we go. You're going to flyer the community. You're going to flyer, tell people to sign up, register, whatever, Google form. And on your form, you're going to ask, do you live in this development? Let's say it's Wagner. Do you live in Wagner or not? And they're going to say, yes, I live in Wagner. What's your address? Now you host the program for 6 weeks. And you invite the board to come out. You invite the people in the community to come out. You constantly say, this is what we're doing. Give me one of your people. Now they know it works. Before you flyer, when you get your date from the center, you didn't create the flyer. You go to the board and say, hey, I'm hosting this at the center. I'm just giving you awareness. You're not asking for permission. You already got what you needed. Okay, you're letting them know I'm hosting this for awareness. Can I come speak at your next meeting so that the residents know that we're doing this? They say yes, not a problem. If they want to partner at any point, you say, this is what I'm looking to do. And transparency is everything. I'm aware that there may be funds here. I want to host this event. I want to host this series. If you guys like it, I would love to partner with y'all as a consultant, as a program to bring this training here regularly. Language, straight up from the gate, language, because you're not supposed to know, but you should know that you can partner with them. Okay. Now, the next people you talk to is management. Now, I know you're like, well, I got to put management in my business. You tell management for this program because you want a flyer in their buildings. And anything that don't have the NYCHA logo on it, a lot of times managers tell their teams, take that ish down. Take it down. So a lot of the flyers that people flyer get ripped down because management takes it down if it doesn't have nothing to do with the board or if it has nothing to do with NYCHA. So you're getting the thumbs up from the board, but you need to also get that from NYCHA. Now, I'll be honest with you, here's some real. You can even partner with the board before that if the board has a logo or if the board don't mind saying they're in partnership with you. But you want to be very clear with the board, like, hey, listen, I'm aware that there may be funds through your TPA, and nobody talks about that. And I would like to be a program under that. If possible, I would also like take this note too, to talk with your engagement coordinator, to let them know I'm interested in being a vendor with NYCHA. Now, if they not haters, they're going to introduce you to the engagement coordinator. I know about 4 of them. If you need some help outside of this fire, you let me know. I'll figure it out who they are. But I'm just letting y'all know there's people that you could talk to and tell them you want to be a part of giving program, and they could kind of steer you in the right direction. Now, you talk to everybody. Now, let's say you want to do a culminating event at the end of your program. You want to do some kind of celebratory event on the grounds of the development you're at, right? Because you want to make this big. So 6 weeks throughout all of the winter. Now we getting ready to go into the spring. It's warm. It's April. It's nice. I want to do a big outside celebration. You can't. You ready? You need to get a permit from NYCHA management. Write that down. You need to get a permit from NYCHA management to use the grounds. Now, again, you don't need permission up until this point. If you want to do anything on the grounds that's outside of the centers, you use that to do that. Got it? Now, with that being said, and if I'm giving y'all some gems, throw the thumbs up in the chat. Give you some gems, throw the thumbs up. Right. So now, with that, why do it say 4 o'clock? Am I bugging? Did this thing do the time thing again wrong? I'm tight. We're going to figure this out. Don't worry. Thank you for the thumbs up, Sheena. So now you get the permit. Not only do you get a permit, but you talk to your local public service area department. That's the police department for NYCHA. So your PSA, you talk to your local PSA and let them know, or the local precinct and let them know, your community affairs person, and let them know that you're getting ready to, babe, roll your sleeves up. Roll your sleeves up. Roll your sleeves up. Come. You let them know that you're getting ready to do this event. Why am I telling you to do that? Why do you think I'm telling you to do that?
So some type of safety reasons, security, you never know what could happen, as a result. Belligerent people, you just never know.
Plus, I'll tell you like this. What happens if it's a big crowd of folks and it's a beautiful event, and then that crowd start moving to leave, and the cops are seeing the crowd? The cops will harass them because that's just what they do. So to avoid all of that, hey, there's an event going on in Wagner today. We're just throwing it out there for y'all to know. It should be a peaceful event, but just in case you see a crowd, you know where it's coming from. So that's how you keep yourself safe. All right. So now that's how you get yourself in the room, in these spaces. So where am I? All right. So let's go back to who gets the money. Each resident association, RA, the official tenant group of NYCHA Development, can get TPA funds if it's duly elected in good standing with NYCHA. So what I mean by duly elected, in order for your board to get money, there have to be 5 people on the board. They have to have a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, and a sergeant of arms. If at any point any one of those key people are missing, they are not accessible to their money. They also can't get their TPA funds if they're in the middle of an election. So if you're pitching to them and they're like, well, we can't touch it until we see who wins this election, especially the president and the treasurer, then you just got to wait. So you want to know when elections are for your board, you can ask these questions. When is elections for you guys? Maybe you want to join the board so you can kind of see how it works. Again, just to be in the room. Now, what can TPA funds be used for? Y'all ready? You ready? All right. It says TPA funds must help residents, not individuals, not outsiders. So I can't take the money and just pay Kim $10 by herself unless she actually volunteered. And that money, even that, I got to get that out of Councilmatic funds. Let me go back again. I could do whatever the hell I want with Councilmatic funds. I could get the DJ. I could buy food. I could do holiday stuff like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Mother's Day, you name it. I can do that with that fund. I cannot do that with TPA funds. You cannot do that with TPA funds. So when you're seeing people struggle, it's because of that. And I can do that with fundraised funds. And if I'm a nonprofit and I'm a TA board and we're a nonprofit, we can get anything we want from anywhere in the city, like any other nonprofit, including grants. Nobody talks about this. So if you're on the board and you're starting to say, I want Amazon to sponsor, I want Sprite to sponsor, I want Nike to sponsor our kids, we can actually do that on the boards if you're a nonprofit, because you have the impressions. I have, what is it here? I have 22 buildings. I believe I have 23,000 families. I'm at 2,300 families. I could tell Nike right now, I got 2,300 families that totals about maybe 5,000, 5,600 people in my development that will see your advertisement. Your impressions. Can you give me 100 sneakers? They're going to send me sneakers my way. I need laptops. They're going to send laptops my way. I need cameras. They're going to send cameras my way. Whatever I say, I need Christmas toys. They're going to send that my way. Jefferson has 38 buildings. Imagine that. If Jefferson was a nonprofit, they would have it. I tread lightly with Jefferson because I'm aware of these things, but I also like when Alexis figured it out herself. I can't give her too much because when I do, it's like I know that, or she don't feel prepared for it yet, because her board, the way they are, they need to be caught up. It's not that she's missing something, it's just that they're not all caught up. And a lot of our boards are like that. And because I'm really close with her, I got to kind of keep it a little distance, and I'll just keep that there. You know what I mean? I'm not a nonprofit. You don't have to be. But if your board is a board,
Well, I'm gonna go to the office and I'm gonna start chit chat. Wow, yo, let's get this popping.
Thank you, Kim. Fire. If your NYCHA board is a nonprofit, all 5 of them can become a nonprofit. They can open up a bank account, and then this money, y'all see this money right here? They don't have to go through the city to get the money. The money is directly deposited into their account. Nobody's telling anybody this. If y'all learned something today, I need a shout out. I need a nice little y'all got to take the next class Rema's doing. I don't know when it is. Next week, I'm signing up. Y'all got to take it. Send people. I need this to be known that I am sharing some stuff to y'all. All right. Now, what can it be used for? Resident meeting, training, or leadership workshops, which we all know everybody needs. Classes for youth, parents, or seniors. Programs about health, money, or job readiness. Literacy or tutoring programs, resident elections, and community events that increase participation. Buying small supplies for RA office, flyers, signs, light refreshments. Paying small stipends to resident leaders who volunteer regularly. Are we all on the same page? Come on. You're welcome, Fire. Now, next, what can't it be used for? The guidebook, there's a NYCHA guidebook that things are not allowed. Parties or entertainment like movies, trips, bowling nights, alcohol, or tips to vendors. So if I'm vendored, I'm getting money directly from the city. You can't give me money if you're the board. So you can't give me extra money. You can't tip me. It got to be whatever's on our contract together, right? Fundraisers or raffles. So I can't buy like this lip gloss with it and then raffle it off under the TPA funds. I have to either be given something that I can give away, or I have to be able to fundraise and then push out, right? And when you fundraise and get that money, you can do whatever you want. So if you want to do party, you want to do a repass, whatever you want to do to give back to your community, you can. But you can't use TPA funds. You can use fundraising funds, and councilmatic funds. Now, with councilmatic funds, here's another caveat. You don't get that directly either. Councilmatic funds come through the city and come to your account the same way TPA funds come. So everything is ran by NYCHA again. But with councilmatic funds, the one thing that you need to make sure you have is your receipts of how you spent it. I mean, you got to have your receipts for everything else, but that councilmatic fund is different than your annual fund from NYCHA. The councilmatic funds, you give them the receipt, they give you your new monies. So more you let's say you get $5,000 for this fiscal year and you gave in only half of your receipts, you're not getting any of your councilmatic money until they got the whole 5,000 covered. So you want to make sure you know that piece too. So let's say you tell them, well, I know y'all got councilmatic funds. And they're like, well, we don't really have that. We kind of messed up something. They might not even want to share that with you. Councilmatic. Yep. It's one word, I believe. Councilmatic. Raina, you are in the building. Councilmatic is what it's called. There you go. All right. The next piece, right? You can't buy things that benefit only one person and paying for items without receipts. So I can't just go buy something and then screw the receipts. I have to have my receipts. What RAs must do? Resident associations have rules to follow to keep getting TPA funds. They have to submit proposals for every program they want to fund. They get 3 price quotes for anything over $55,000. So let's say Fire has a program for $9,000. She gives it to Kim because Kim is on the board. Kim cannot pay Fire right away for this thing because it's more than 5,000. So Kim got to find two other people. So here's the secret. Want to know the secret? Find your own competition that is not on that Section 3 list. Are you on the same page? Am I telling y'all too much? Don't tell nobody. I told y'all all of this. So let's say Kim has this beautiful.
If y'all tell anybody, and if y'all tell anybody and mess it up, I'm banning y'all. Straight up.
So let's say Fire got this beautiful domestic violence program, and she charges the $9,000 for this program to go for 12 weeks. It's going to be twice a week. She's going to give them this. She's going to give them that. It's going to cover food, cover her instruction, cover her admin costs, cover her startup costs of what she needed to do the program creation, right? And then she has to give the proposal in. They're going to look at it and say, well, we got to find 2 more people to compare this to. So now let's say Kimberly, she finds Kimberly, or they have Kimberly in the system and they have Sheena in the system. And they're already like, well, we already got these 2 and they're not charged for the same program you about to do. They're only going to charge us. And this is usually happens when they seek you, not when you're seeking them. That's another thing, right? So like if they're seeking you, but when you're seeking them, you kind of go win it because your program is unique. But if they're seeking a specific program that multitude of people can do, they're going to have to like kind of competition it a little bit. So let's say you go for 9,000, but Sheena said 5,000 and Sheena's on that list. She's on the Section 3B list. Mike, come here really quick. Can you move the plants from the window? Because the air is blowing and I don't want them to fall. Right. Yeah, move the plants from the window because I want to keep the window open. I'm sorry, y'all. Just move it over or something a little bit, just so that it don't be next to where it could fall out because it might fall. Yeah, because the wind is blowing heavy. Thank you, bitch. So let's say, where was I? So now they found Sheena. Sheena is at $4,300. They're gonna go with Sheena. They're not going with Fire. So you just lucked out. But let's say Fire found Kim and found Raina on her own. And said, these 2 are my competitions. You don't even need to look any further. Now they have to submit all of this over to housing, NYCHA in the top part for Section 3 businesses. When they look at the difference, they're going to say, well, Fire is a Section 3 business and the other 2 aren't. So we're naturally going with Fire. So y'all see how that works. So you might be pitching, but you're not registered with Section 3, so you're not getting this money. Period. The next piece, right? Verified participants are NYCHA residents. This is why you want to do something there first. If you do something first, then you can get your own resident list. If you have to wait for them, they're going to tell you to pitch it, do this, do that, run around. Oh, poor doggy. That's a dog. Got the head thing on. Oh, poor baby. Oh, okay. And I don't even like animals, so this is different. He just looked poor to me. Just want to just hug him and kiss him or something.
I have 2 puppies, and they're like thriving, they're seeking my attention right now.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. So that's how you do it. So when you first start out, you want to do something yourself so you can gather your own list. And as Fire asked, how many people do you want? How many people you want to charge for it? So if you want to charge a group of starting at 10 to 15, then you want to do your first group at 10 to 15 people. You want to show that your program actually works. So now you're undeniable. And if you are a vendor and you did this work already, you get to actually put yourself out there through all of Reese and everything else to say, this is the kind of work that I do, and sign up as a Reese vendor, which I have yet to do. So I cannot teach that, but I know it's a thing. A Reese vendor, you become a co-locator at one of these locations and you let Reese know, I'm doing this program right here in this space. And then they start flooding people to you. Now, there's something else that I'm going to give y'all free before that I haven't really did a lot of digging for this. It's called Independent Training Grant, ITG, Independent Training Grant. For those that have a program, work for, and you just need location. So I'm stressing to use these community centers as your co-locator. For those that have program and want to get paid, the ITG certification allows you to charge up to $3,800 a person. Y'all hear what I said? I'm gonna say that a little lower for the people that don't need to hear it. $3,800 a person in order for them to come to you through Workforce One. So if you have a program and you're doing a program there and it can help somebody elevate in their training, and it's a training, then you can have them come to your program and Workforce One will pay you. But you need to be certified with that. And all of this stuff is free. Even the vendorship that I'm telling y'all about, it's free. You paying nothing. The most money you ever had to come out of was to organize your organization and to get your article organization. Everything else is free. You're just signing up for stuff. And once you sign up for the certificate, you're approved. You just need to make sure that you're in the system. So we'll talk more about that as the weeks go on. I'll make sure to put a plug in for that. The next thing, keep signing sheets and receipts for every activity. Send reports to NYCHA after the events. That's what the RAs must do. This is what they have to do. So their job, the board job, is to submit proposals for every program they want to fund, get 3 price quotes for anything over $5,000, verify participants that are NYCHA residents that's going to this program. They have to keep the sign-in sheet. So if Fire has a program, she has to give that receipt and sign-in sheet to them for their records and send reports to NYCHA. If they break these rules, they can lose their future funding. Example, if your RA wants to hold a youth career day, they would, 1, write a plan and budget, 2, get NYCHA's approval, 3, hire an approved trainer or use a volunteer, 4, keep sign-in sheets showing attendees for our NYCHA residents, 5, send receipts and attendance records back to TPA coordinator. Okay, why it matters: TPA funds help residents build leadership and community pride, create safe and positive spaces, and learn skills that can lead to jobs or better housing management. Now we are at the end of that. Are we all clear? If y'all have not found this yet, I want y'all to know that it's right here. You just Google it. So all you got to do is Google TPA funds and NYCHA, and you're going to see a list come up. And that list that come up, click anything it goes all the way to the bottom, and you're going to notice that it says quarter year. The last one is the one that's here. This is their quarter year for report 2023. Okay, they have not updated it yet. I've been hoping that they would. I thought that they would, and they haven't. So I don't know what that's about, but maybe one day I'll click it and it say 2025. What's up, Fire?
To circle back for one moment in terms of not needing permission from the community center. So I could just go in there and say, hi, hey, I like to, because they don't know me like that. They see my face, but they don't know me. Right? So I could just go in there and say, hi, I like to host a program for up to 6 weeks. Just, that's how I present it. Or
That's
there's
not
another
how you
way to
present
like,
it. You're going to present it as if you are already doing this stuff, but you want to talk to them and let them know who you are. So it's like,
Okay.
hey, I've spoken to the center. When I was at the center, I expressed to them that I was interested in doing this program. This program is this. I'm starting this program at the center. I want to bring awareness to the residents for it. I want to talk to y'all about it. Is it possible if I can get a minute to talk with y'all a little bit more? I will be doing it. It's a free program for this session, but my goal is to hopefully get to be contracted with you guys for TPA, contract as a consultant trainer.
Got it. Oh
Okay.
my goodness. Thank you. Yes. Thank
And
you.
it's real simple. And it, some people, they have demeanors that's crazy. So you don't want to just talk to like one of the regular board members. You want to talk to like the president and or the treasurer. Those are the 2 people that you really want to tap in with. And if you can catch all of them at one time, say, hey, I would like to have a meeting with y'all. I'm before, or you can say, before I go to the center to get a date, this is what I would like to provide. And I want to do an A/B testing. People might not know what A/B testing is, but you'll just say, I want to test it out. I want to see if the program is viable. And if it is viable, I want to bring it, I want to make sure it stays here. Now, what I'm gonna ask you guys for right now, I got a small sponsorship from an organization, and you use Family Benches, and you say Family Benches is sponsoring the first cohort because Kim needs to be on everything. So you say Family Benches is sponsoring, although Kim may not pay upfront to sponsor, they don't need to know that they're paying your cost. But you say she's paying me to facilitate this. Her organization is sponsoring it for the first cohort for up to 15 people. I want to put this here. Although we're lying a little bit, it doesn't matter, right? Because one, Kim gets recognized as a sponsor for something like this. And then two, you get to say that you're already getting paid. And if it does work, then Raina, are you here with me? And do I need to let this person in? Raina's here. So we're not letting them in. Raina, you here? You're very welcome. I'm gonna keep that person out for right now. If Raina's here, she'll tap in. So you want to just have that conversation, a real honest conversation, but you want to kind of throw in that you're getting paid. So this way that they don't feel like they need to, you won't feel like they need to not know that you're making money. So, hey, I'm doing this. I'm already sponsored. We want to come. I live here. I want to give back here. I noticed this is an issue. I want to make awareness of it. And if and when I finish doing this, I want to also be able to, you say it just like that. I want to also be able to, I want to also be able to, partner with you guys.
I would also like to engage the community as well, because that's what I like to do is, to engage the community in awareness in terms of what's happening.
That's a part of why you're doing the program there. So that's already there. So your program is going to be done on the grounds in the center. You're connecting with them to let them know that you are a paid trainer, you're a paid program, you are fully licensed and insured, nonprofit, for-profit, blase, right? And that you're doing this training on the grounds, and there's a certificate at the end of the training that makes it sound even better. You can create that in Canva, and you just give them everything you got. And the reason for you talking to them is so that they can support you. Now, the goal of you starting it there is that you live there, you want to give back and engage the community there. But you also want them to know that you would like to get paid.
Okay. True.
Okay, I want to get paid. I want to get paid to do this. Okay, let me add Raina. Raina, are you back with us? Do I have the right person here? Let's see if she can speak. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes, I am. I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's cool. I had Raina in here before, and I wasn't, you know how it is. So I'm gonna go stop share, and I'm gonna go back to my slide before we go into questions. So boop, 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 boop. Let's go back to share and the slide. Yep, share slide. So let's get there. All right. So the next piece is your next 3 moves. All right. So here's your next 3 moves. Before you go any further, answer these questions honestly. Write them down. These answers will guide your entire strategy. Which NYCHA category fits your business? Construction, IT, food services, youth programs. Be specific. Don't try to be everything. Focus on what you do best and where you have proof of competence. Also, it'll work if you've already done programming before. This way that when you're coming into this space, you already kind of have an idea of what has been your scope. Do you have your business folder ready? Insurance certificates, business license, tax documents, past client reference, photos of completed work. If someone asks for your credentials tomorrow, could you send it to them in 24 hours? Okay. What would $25,000 in contracts change for you? Really think about it. More staff, better equipment, financial stability, a second location. The clearer your why, the harder you'll work to get there. So here's the thing about that. Okay. Here's the thing about that, right? With these monies, We all want things. I told y'all at the beginning the thing about Mama Mogul's Academy and starting your own like blog and doing these presentations and this and the third and getting your ebooks is for your own pocket money. That's that I needed money this week money. You understand me? However, with this money, it really goes to your business. So I want y'all to focus. What would $25,000 do for your business? Where would that money go in your business? Now that you know where it will go get it, right? Inside the full course, we turn these answers into real bids. You'll learn how to write proposals that win, identify contracts we're pursuing, and navigate the system like someone who's been doing this for years. So this is the thing. I started this journey that I was going to do all of my full courses on my paid school account. Instead, I want to give you all the full courses and these free courses. The paid account, you go into that, you get to see this again. So the recording of this will be there. And you'll also get all of your templates so that you can know thing to thing how to apply for everything. I need this, I need that. And if every week I'm doing this, you know, there's a new checklist, there's a new something coming out inside of that group, inside of that school account, that community. Is that clear? Yeah, you can use it. Is that clear to y'all? Y'all good? So this way you'll have everything you need. So here I'm giving you as much information as I can. And there you're getting all of your guides, your templates, a dictionary. So all the language I'm using, it's in there too. Because I believe that if you knew how to speak Spanish, you could read it better. If we knew, am I right? So I use this as an example. If El Cato meant cat, right? How would I know that if nobody told me how to read it? Then there's the cat. That's what I'm talking about. That, see, right on time, right on time. But how would I know if nobody told me how to read that? If I'm telling y'all to go after some stuff, how would you know to go get it if you don't know or understand the system? You need the dictionary of language used. Now I'm using TPA, I'm using all this language, but when you use that language in certain rooms, people look at you. You know that? Yeah, I know that. I know about that. Thank you. It does something different. For me, it makes me a little big. You know what I mean? I have a little big dogs. So I give you that to you. You know what I'm saying? So these classes will be free. My next one is next week. We will talk about MWBE. I have a special guest coming in to talk more towards that. So hopefully you guys will purchase the next week's Eventbrite. Usually I have it done before this class is here, but it's not. You will get the link to the school. You will get the link to the next Eventbrite event. And if you're following my Eventbrite already, you will get that update and that too, because I send out emails to everybody, right? That's in there. Let me see. Raina, what happened? You did a text by accident? Okay. Start local, scale big, fire. This one is talking to you. If you can work with NYCHA, you can work with any New York City agency. Housing Authority contracts are training ground for bigger opportunities across the city's $100 billion procurement ecosystem. 1, master NYCHA, learn the system, build your reputation. 2, expand citywide, parks, schools, sanitation, transportation. We will be talking about DOE in the next few weeks. We will also be talking about DOC in the next few weeks, and I have a few more. So parks and transportation, we'll talk about that in a few weeks as well. So this is bag the city steady, like you're studying this whole situation, all right? And then scale statewide, state contracts, federal opportunities. The doors open, I'll walk through it. Join the full course on Employed by Self School Network. Thank you. No gatekeeping, just game. Let's get your business positioned to win. Now I'm going to stop screen sharing. I'm going to ask for all of your feedback. Anyone can talk. We have another few minutes before we decide to get out of here. And I like to go on for another extra half hour, but but believing you enjoyed it tonight, they believed you. Yes, the other one she did too. I was hoping to see her come back from last week, but it's cool. But you can unmute yourself and share anything, any feedback, any questions you may have.
I like to share. I know I've been speaking a lot throughout the presentation. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you, Rema, for your knowledge. Is mind-blowing in terms of, all the information that I received tonight on this call. It's necessary. It's like a lot of times we don't receive the answers that we're looking for in terms of like how to thrive, how to do better, how to get that money back. Because right now for me, it's all about funding. I'm applying to different grants, trying to see, which grants I qualify for and what I'm eligible for. So it's just a matter of knowing, where I can fit in and how I can better serve the community and give back at the same time. So that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. I have a grant course called Grant 101. And that's also in the school, right? So make sure you join in. When I send it to y'all, you got it. Feedback that you are extremely professional, knowledgeable girl. You know how many times I like cussing? I cuss a lot. But for y'all ears, I'm working on me. But I thank you very much. I'm very passionate about this work because there's so many people that don't know, right? But there's so many people that know but don't know how to give it. Like I said before, if you don't ask, nobody's telling you anything, right? And we shouldn't have to ask is how we feel. But I also acknowledge that we don't know how to ask. I'm saying all of this stuff, right? Thank you very much. I'm gonna finish reading that quote. You're gonna talk, Raina. You're gonna get on unmute and you're gonna talk. What I'm gonna tell you is I acknowledge that there's knowledge in our world, but people don't know how to communicate in our language, make us feel comfortable, and also is right about stuff, right? People are pointing us in wrong directions. They're telling us all this stuff because I need to keep this to myself. Like I gotta get it first. I told y'all I ain't even got my contract first. I don't care. I don't care. If y'all get it first, I'm going to ask you a million questions. How did you do it? What did you do? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? Did anything that I showed you help you get there? Like what? I'm going to ask you those questions. We gotta get out of our head to say we gotta stop waiting for something to happen in order for us to dig deep, right? I gotta like example, if I would have waited for my vendor contract to go through, and I have 2 of them in the system right now. If I wait for my vendor contract to go through before I did this class, y'all would have no nothing right now. Do you know what I'm saying? If I would have just waited until I got that extra information, so I could be like, well, this is how. No, I can give you that exclusive in the school. When I get it, I'll tell you it's in the school. Make sure y'all join it. That one is going to be on Wednesday. You'll know it. But for right now, I can give you as much information because this information, all I did was research and use my knowledge of what I have and then offer that to y'all. It didn't take a lot. So I thank you very much for that. And the fact that I work for myself, professionalism, I have to be that because I work for myself. And I can fire me any day. Okay, I ain't got time. I don't play that. So I'm very careful. But Raina, go ahead. I want to hear you speak. I can't even hear. Find the unmute part.
Yeah, I got it now. I'm just amazed of all the knowledge that you have, the kindness of your heart to teach other majority of people that know something. They gatekeep it so much, and that's something that I noticed that from the time that I first came to this country to now, or immigrate to this country. There were many programs, but due to people holding that information for themselves, for people they know only, the government started to see that there were no demand, there was no meaning to that program. Why we're going to be spending money where there is nobody interested in attending? And for me, that was bad because I always know that there is always the need for people to learn something. All of us need to learn something at any point. So it didn't make sense to me that there were a lot of programs to make people more capable in society, parents, different programs, health, and they were disappearing. And when you hear about it, and you try to do the research or refer somebody, they were gone, disappeared for good. So I never understood that. And something also that I don't understand is the more a person know or experience, sometimes they become selfish and they will not give you the right information. They will give you some information that is they should give you the entire, but not, I'm not,
They vague
they
with the
should give you the right
information.
information from the beginning,
Correct.
the ground foundation, and then you can and point in the right direction, and you go and find out if knowledge is power. But normally, people will give information and not give you the most important part. And then when you go or look for the benefit or that assistance, you are trapped because it's more
Right.
than what you get. You are in the middle of something, learning how to navigate it. And for me, it's unfair, it's not right. And cool, if you know that you have to go step 1 to 3, what I'm going to tell you, step 0. So with you are having so much emotion that I don't even know what to do, even though if it's something that I'm going to put in the back burner for me, but any person that I can connect to you or learn, that for me is the beauty of it. And this, I'm going to research and let us think in, because it's something that I wanted to do probably with taxes or credit repair, which is something I think I have or any other program. It's just
So
that. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm
Talking about.
sorry. So I'll say this next week. The woman that I'm bringing on, her name is Daniel Sullivan. She is, hopefully she can join us for the MWBE. She is somebody that does like taxes and credit repair and financial literacy and such. And she's been giving back to NYCHA communities for a while now as well. She's also been working on contracts to be with them. So I offer you, yes, you can have that program here too. You can have and you don't have to live in NYCHA to bring program here either. I need that to be clear as well. But you should be registered. You have to have your I'm gonna stress it all the way. Every one of these seminars, you have to be registered with the city. You need to be registered. You need to be doing what you got to do, because without that, you can't get anything. And people want to give because, like I showed y'all, all that money, they're getting ready to take it. So they need to find people in the scram, like really, really fast. So Raina, I'm sorry. You go ahead and finish. Can't hear you. You're on mute. You're on mute. Just the emotion. You're on mute. The emotion is beautiful. Go ahead.
I'm so transfixed of everything and sisterhood, how important it is. If it wasn't because of you, Kimberly, every participant here, we would not be growing and helping, and sometimes I don't even know what to do. We become unaccustomed of sometimes kindness, and when we see that, we don't even know what to do. We forgot how we feel, and that's how I'm feeling here.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Kim.
Oh, Rima, you already know. You already know how I feel about you. You know I already know. That's why I put fire here. I bring Raina here. I had set the glass to everybody because you know how I already feel about you, Raina. You already know how I feel about
I
you, Rima.
appreciate you.
That's why I brought people here. I brought people here because I know you're the real deal, and I know that you helped me so much, and I know I'm not getting choked up, and I don't want to start crying, Rima, because you already know you know how I feel about you already.
You know how I
And I
feel
don't want,
about you too, Kim.
and
Kim,
I
you're
don't
gonna
want to
have
get emotional. So I'm bringing my people. I'm bringing people here for you. I'm bringing people here so that you can fill up this room, fill up this space, because this information is priceless.
Kim, you're gonna be my promoter for this webinar series, the Bag the City. So every Sunday we doing this. So you're gonna be locked in with me on Sundays. Let's talk a little bit more this week about what that partnership could look like. And I'll bring you into the school for free just because you're my Kim. So I'll say that in front of everybody. You
And,
could join the school
and,
for
and,
free.
and Fire also know. Fire also know because I put some fire under her, excuse my name, under her tush because she was struggling. And I said, Fire, look, she wanted to do her nonprofit. I said she was struggling. I said, Fire, look, it is A, B, C, and D. And she hit me up and she said she got 501c3. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I bring Raina to the space because Raina's not happy with her place of employment. And I said, the hell with them, Raina. You can go and do some other stuff. Do some other things. The hell with them. Keep it until you do your other stuff.
I appreciate that very much. I thank you. I'm blown away by you, Kim. Watching you grow in this last almost year has been really great as well. I know that you're getting ready to land and hit some really big doors, and I know you've already hit big doors, but you're getting ready to get some really big doors. So I need you in my corner. I need you definitely be a part of my team. So we definitely gonna talk a little bit more about teaming up on what this webinar thing looked like. This webinar game is really what I really want to do. Especially the Bag the City. This Bag the City for me really is about people understanding how this procurement city part worked and getting themselves together so they could get it. Because if I help your generations will help mine. This is not just about today. It's about in 20 years from now that you guys was able to have your own businesses and build it out to so much monies. I'm gonna say that again, to so much monies that y'all generations are taken care of. They in college, they in school, nobody having no worries financially, and you're doing the work that you love to do. And then they get to come in and do the work they love to do as your children and those children, etc. And this is how we have to leave it for the children. So but we have to start here first. You know what I'm saying? We got to start now. And who's going to help us if we ain't got nobody to step up and say, I'm gonna be the leader. I'll be the leader. And I hope that you could take the little bit of formula that I did today and use that in y'all spaces too. What does it look like to have a free Zoom call to teach somebody something? Now, yes, I'm telling y'all to allude you to my school. It's $40 a month, but I have the extras at the school. You could do this. I empower y'all to do this. I only pay like $1.50 for my Zoom for a year to get up to 100 people on a Zoom call. This is going to grow as long as I stay consistent, and it'll grow. And I love doing this stuff. So I thank y'all. Sheena, do you have anything you want to drop a note, sis?
Rama, I love you. You know that this is
We
how
were
old
in school together.
I don't want
That's
to tell our
how old
age,
we
but
were.
this is high school. Like,
Yes, high school.
I absolutely love the energy. I love everything that you bring to the table. You've been the same. You're consistent. You're consistent. I thank you. I thank you. I watch you. I know I may not come to every event. I may not pop up, for everything, but I watch you. I follow you and you're a great inspiration,
Thank you.
to our classmates from JA and to our community. And this is why I said I need to show up because we live in the same community. I know I'm not a NYCHA resident, but my husband worked for NYCHA.
Yes.
So I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of the things you were saying or whatever, unfortunately, he is in the hospital. So that's why I jumped on late. So
I'm sorry
excuse
to
me
hear
for
that.
jumping on late. It's all right. God is good. God is bringing them out. But I said, I cannot miss it because I told you that I was going to be on here. And I'm like, I need to get on there. One, because I want to be supportive to you. And two, because I need the information. You know that I'm doing my health and wellness. You know that I'm trying to do my whole thing as being an author. I'm trying to help people with their business startup. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm very ambitious. I'm, trying to help people in the community, but I don't know where to start, even though I'm starting, even though that's crazy. Like I have my feet and my hands and stuff in it, but I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go for funding. I'm just now starting to build an LLC. I want to go and start the paperwork and stuff like that. So I'm really in the beginning, even though I have a health coaching business. How that work? Getting paid for it, but exactly. Yeah, you see your face.
Well, that's
So
because you're underneath another org. You're underneath a
right.
different. You're so for full transparency, you're with Herbalife, yes, or one of them,
No.
right?
Octavia.
Yeah, we're at Tavia. Okay. So because you're that and you're a contracted worker,
Hmm.
you don't have to have an LLC. You just have to be contracted. So you didn't have to have that thought before. Now you
Hmm.
have to have that thought. So what I'm also going to introduce y'all to, Kim, I'm doing something called Womenaires every Wednesday here in
Hmm.
Wagner. Like I said, I asked my center to give me some space because I'm running for VP. And
Okay.
my goal is that people don't know Sharima Harvell. They barely know Rima. And they know me and my face. They don't know my name.
Your
So I want
name.
to do
Yeah.
some work over here before elections come in. So this way people already see me active. So starting in the next 2 weeks, starting in November, I think the first Wednesday of November is going to start the course. And everyone on this call and anyone else that's invited is able to come. It's going to be a free women's empowerment seminar series. So there's not a lot of that for us, like I said before, and that's what I want to
Hmm.
create for people like yourself, Sheena. Which way do I go, George? Which way do I go?
Hmm.
Right? And you get to listen to some empower and be impacted by powerful women from our community talking about how they was able to do. But I'm going to host a facilitating seminar. So every
Mhm.
week is going to have something different. I got this one seminar I can't wait to do called From Problems to Paycheck. And it
Nice.
expresses to people how you might have an issue, but that you turn that issue into a paycheck, right? So I have a baby father issue, but how do you turn that into a paycheck? Because I'm now teaching people how to deal with um emotionless men, whatever the case may be, right? Or how to cope with dealing with raising children and the father's not in the house, right? Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
different stuff that you as an individual needs to be challenged to ask and pull out. So as I'm doing this bag in the city, I'm also going to do womenaires. When I say I'm about to activate Rema, my brand, I'm about to do that now because the same with you. My website is coachremafromthepjs.com. If
Hmm.
you go to it, the website is trash. However, I just built a website for a client. Not fair. Not fair. Um, I fixed the Great Parents Club website, but again, my websites are trash. They regular. But I need something that really is solid for myself. Where's my
Right.
speaking reel? Where's my stuff? I'm in a whole speaking community that's getting paid $10,000, $50,000 to talk. I'm always talking, I'm always doing something. Where's the stuff at? I'm doing this for clients, but what about Rema? I need to hire somebody.
Right.
So
Right.
where's the activation? Let me activate myself so this way I can take pictures of what I'm doing and get more. So as I'm helping y'all, I'm helping me. Hence the
Yes.
recording of this. Hence the all
Absolutely.
those pieces. But Sheena, I'm sorry, I need to cut you off.
No, no, no. You good. You good. Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, and I'm gonna do my best to show up. I'll follow your page, and you let me know when the next webinar and stuff is. Even
Next
the
Sunday.
next Sunday. Okay, so I'll do my best to get on, and I'm ready to build this brand. I'm serious about it because I see that, God is gonna bless me in it, and I'm attaching myself. It's nothing wrong with attaching yourself and connecting yourself with people that's in a place where you're trying to go.
So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna
So,
give you a freebie.
mhm.
Do you pay for your chat GPT?
I just paid for it last night.
Good. I want
I
you to go
just
to chat.
just paid for it
This is
last
what I
night
want you. This is
because
what I want you to do. I want you to go to chat, and when you press
mhm,
that sidebar, it's gonna say new project. So you're gonna create a new project, and you're gonna put the Sheena project.
okay.
Okay. And in that chat, you're going to upload a couple of things about yourself, including a resume. If you have a bio, fix a bio, put it in there and put it as a file in that chat space. While you're in that chat space, I want you to then go in and say, what do I need to do in order to go from this to that? And you're going to there, this is where you are today. Yeah, that is where you want to be. And you're going to tell chat, give me a checklist of how do I get from this to that. Ask me questions so I can answer those questions to get me from this to that. Show me a lane that I can go into according to my resume from this to that, and then give me suggestions. Because what happens is that we want to do everything
Yeah.
because we can. When I can I run it down to y'all really quick? I
Yeah.
only gave y'all my last 5 years. I worked for DOP, DOC, DYCD, DA office, all that, right? The city. 5 years. Before that, I ran radio stations. Before that, I hosted open mics and I did comedy. Before that, I produced over 300 people, different shows. During this, I have a TV show on TV right now. In the midst of all of this, I also can braid hair, do laundry really well, and cook like I'm a caterer. You hear me? I
Excellent.
organize big street events. I just shut down the street 2 times over the summer. On 134th Street, serviced 400 people. On 157th Street, Kim was there, serviced 300 people, and people came. Right? I just did 2 different open mics for the same development. People came. I am a natural all over the place person,
Yeah.
but I ain't get paid yet.
Mm. So we got to fix that. We fixing it
So,
though.
so this work that I'm doing right now will fix it. This is
That's
God's
right.
work.
Yeah.
You understand me? Whatever I can help to seed, and if I'm looking like a volunteer in it, I'm in service of people on this call.
Yeah.
My class, my school program is $40 a month. If
Okay.
I'm on this call with y'all for free every week, I'm sure I can get people to join in that class to get them guides, to get that one-on-one, the Q&A, whatever they're in need of. Because my one-on-one, this right here, costs $150 an hour. And I charge people that. And I've been charging people that for these kind of things. So this freebie, put the flood. I got 100 space for 100 people every week. That's what I need in support. If you can't join the group, I got it, but get the flood. Everything else, tap into your chat GPT, look it up, get what you need to get through. And before I get out of here, y'all can follow me on everything as Coach Rema _ on Instagram, Coach Rema the Great on LinkedIn. And my aspirations, my personal aspiration is to have personal and professional development training spaces on NYCHA grounds in New York City. So my aspiration is to have personal professional training on the grounds. My next biggest thing, because I teach GED as well. A lot of people don't know that. So I teach GED prep inside of Johnson houses, and I'm looking to move into King and some other space for Scan Harbor. But my biggest thing is I don't want to help people with resume writing. I want to help them with resume building. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing is really professional development certificate trainings and things of that nature. So we have
Nice.
people that is in like middle management, or like they just starting this job, and in order for them to get like a better, bigger job, they need to learn how to do emotional intelligence. They need conflict resolution on their thing. They need situational training. They may need emotional intelligence. I said that they might need to take a certain kind of quiz or test. They should be able to come to my professional development, my courses. And that's what I want to give back to NYCHA, because there's big people here that need some direction and some help and a little bit of self-worth in them. Like I want to feel good about me that I live here. Who's helping me with that? Because I don't want to keep, like I told you, I don't want to come and only want to heal all the time. Although I want to share with y'all, this too is healing. And if that's everything, and if nobody have anything else they would like to share, I'll give it another minute. And if not, you can hop on and say something really quick. So I guess that's that. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all so much. Much love. Look forward to your email. I'll be sending one out by, if not tonight, by the morning. Or within the next day or two, you'll get an email for the next event. I gotta post it up and start that promotion. So with that being said, thank y'all and have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.